এই বন্ধ কর চাপরি। Good evening, my dear second semester diploma students in our states. Today, I will discuss some important 2 marks type of questions with answer. First question is, what is the difference between rigid body and elastic body? First, rigid body. A body is called a rigid body if it does not undergo any deformation when acted upon by a force system. आमे जदि कौन सी वस्तु उपरे यदि फोर्स सिस्टम फोर्स अप्लाई करिवा यदि वस्तुटा किछि नो डिफॉर्मेशन दैट इज देयर इज नो एनी शेप किछि चेंज होबा नै दैट इज नोन एज रिजिड बॉडी. Strictly speaking, no body on earth is a rigid body. Then what is elastic body? A body is called an elastic body if it undergoes deformation when acted upon by a force system. Force system. All the bodies are more or less elastic. Actually, हमें यदि वस्तु पर किसी force apply करिया यदि वस्तुटा change हबो that is माने change shape changes that is known आज जब force हमें remove कर दबा ता original position का आसीबो that is known as elastic bodies. Second question, what is concurrent forces? Concurrent forces are those forces whose lines of action pass through a common point. Example, in this figure, forces F1, F2, F3 and F4 have their lines of action pass through a common point, that is O. Hence, they are called concurrent forces. Here, F1, F2, F3 and F4 are forces, their lines of action pass through a common point, that is O. Then, second question is, what is the difference between scalar quantity and vector quantity? You know that a physical quantity which have only magnitude, that is known as scalar quantity. Examples are mass, time, length, temperature, etc. What is vector quantity? A physical quantity which have both magnitude and direction, that is known as vector quantity. Examples are force, velocity, displacement, etc. Then define cantilever beam with example. You know that what is cantilever beam? A cantilever beam is one which is fixed at one end and three at the other end, that is known as cantilever beam. This is the diagram of a cantilever beam. Here A is fixed, rigidly fixed into its support, and the other end B is free. Example, charger. हम पिलान देखि जाओ घरर चार्जरटा गोटाई एंड फिक्स्ड का सहित ना कांथ सहित and another is free. That is known as cantilever beam. Example is charger. Then what is reversible machine? If a machine is capable of doing some work in the reverse direction after the effort is removed, is called reversible machine. For reversible machine, efficiency, this is the symbol for efficiency, is less than or equal to 50%. That is known as reversible machine. Next point, what is the definition of coefficient of friction? You know that coefficient of friction is the ratio of the limiting friction to normal reaction between two bodies in contact. Generally, it is denoted by mu is equal to F by R is equal to tan phi, or F is equal to mu R, where phi is equal to angle of friction, F is equal to limiting friction, and R is equal to normal reaction. Then, this is very important questions. What is the distance of centroid of the semicircular area from the base. Actually, the distance of centroid of a semicircular area, this is the semicircular area from the base, is given by 4r by 3 pi. Here, OB is equal to OA is equal to radius of semicircular area. Then, next point, what is the definition of Lami's theorem? You know that if three coplanar forces are acting at a point B in equilibrium, then each force is proportional to the sine of the angle between other two. This is the diagram of a Lami's theorem. Mathematically, P by sine alpha is equal to Q by sine beta is equal to R by sine gamma. Here, PQR, here PQR are three forces. Then alpha is the opposite angle between Q and R. Beta is the opposite angle of the force Q, that is P and R. And gamma, this is the opposite force, that is R, and it is angle between P and Q. Therefore, mathematically, Lami's theorem is equal to P by sine alpha is equal to Q by sine beta is equal to R by sine gamma. Then, state the law of machine. Actually, you know that the law of machine is given by the formula P is equal to mw plus c. This is written as the law of machine may be defined by an equation which gives the relationship between effort required to raise the corresponding load. That means kete bala apply hochi, kete load lifted hochi. This is the diagram of a lifting law of machine. Mathematically, P is equal to mw plus c. Next question is, what is triangle law of force? You know that if two forces acting simultaneously on a body be represented in magnitude and direction by the two sides of a triangle taken in order, then the resultant may be represented in magnitude and direction but in opposite direction. Here OA in one force, AB another force, but this is the resultant force but in opposite direction. These questions are very important for your semester examinations. The next question, define friction. Friction means when one body slides over another body, an opposite force is generated at that point of contact to resist their motion. This opposite force is known as frictional force, or simply it is known as friction. Next question is, define velocity ratio. Velocity ratio, it is defined as the ratio of distance moved by the effort to distance moved of the load lifted. Mathematically, VR, actually velocity ratio is written as VR is equal to Y by X. Here Y is equal to distance moved by the effort and X is equal to distance moved by the load. Next question, define mechanical advantage. You know that it is defined as the ratio between weight lifted to effort applied. That means kete ball apply karuche or kete load upurku uthuchi. Mathematically, mechanical advantage is written as symbolically MA is equal to W by P, where W is equal to weight lifted, P is equal to effort applied. Then next question is, what is beam? A beam is a structural element which is taken as specimen for studying the effect of load. Actually, the function of a load, the function of a beam is carry loads. Actually, the different types of beams are simple supported beam, cantilever beam, overhanging beam, continuous beam, and fixed beam. These are very important questions for your semester. You should study and write. Then, what is the difference between center of gravity and centroid? First question is center of gravity. The point through which the whole weight of a body is supposed to act is called center of gravity. Every body has one and only one center of gravity. Then what is centroid? The plane figure like triangles, quadrilateral, etc. have no masses. The center of mass is known as centroid. Then next question is, what is polygon law of force? If a number of concurrent forces acting at a point be represented in magnitude and direction by the sides of a polygon taken in order, then their resultant is represented in magnitude and direction by the closing side of the polygon but taken in opposite order. Here AB, BC, CD, DE. These are the sides of a polygon, but RA is the resultant of polygon but in opposite direction. Then next question is, define support and its type. Generally, support is used for a beam to resist the loads. Actually, there are 4 types of support: simple support, roller support, hinge support, and fixed supports. These are very important questions for a semester. You should read seriously. Right, different types of a load. Actually, there are 3 types of loads. That is point load, uniformly distributed load, and uniformly varying load. The next question is, define couple. A pair of 2 equal and unlike parallel forces, equal in magnitude and acting in opposite direction to each other, is known as couple. This is the diagram of a couple. Then next question, define force and state its unit in SI or MKS and CJ system. Actually, force may be defined as an external agent that either changes or tends to change the state of rest or of uniform motion of a body. Actually, its unit in MKS or SI system is Newton and CJ system is Dyne. Actually, one question man padibare, force is a fundamental unit or derived unit? Actually, answer is, it is a derived unit. Kindly see my videos and like my videos YouTube channels and subscribe my channels. ଆଉ ଦେଖ ପିଲାମାନେ, ଏବେ ପରୀକ୍ଷା ଆସିଗଲାଣି, ଏସବୁ ସିରିୟସଲି ପଢ, ଲେଖା ଲେଖି ପ୍ରାକ୍ଟିସ କର, ମନେ ରଖ। ଖାଲି ଭିଡ଼ିଓ ଦେଖିଲେ ହବନି, ଲେଖିବ, ଖାତାରେ ଲେଖିବ, ମନେ ରଖିବ ବୋଲି ଆଶା। ମୁଁ ଆଶା କରୁଛି ତମର ପରୀକ୍ଷା ଭଲ ହବ। ଇମ୍ପୋର୍ଟାଣ୍ଟ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନ୍ 2 ମାର୍କ୍ସ ଟାଇପ୍ ଅଫ୍ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନ୍ସ। ଥ୍ୟାଙ୍କ ୟୁ।